Hello everyone and welcome to the Oakland Open Series. I'm Glenn Jones and I'm joined in the booth by Matt Nass.
Hi everyone.
Matt, welcome. You've started off the tournament 2-1 and we had you as a feature match on round 1 of SCG Live, and the deck you were playing is a nice one.
Yes.
As I'm sure our commentator said. It looks like basically the best Theros draft deck we've ever seen, but of course it's not a Theros draft deck.
Yeah.
You came playing basically almost mono-white heroic deck, so what made you want to sleeve this up for Oakland?
So I think part of it is that one of the most popular decks right now is the mono blue devotion deck, and one kind of hole in it is that it has almost no removal in it.
Sure.
They play a couple of Pongifies and sometimes Cyclonic Rift, but very little removal. So I wanted to punish them by just making large creatures. And
just bashing through. And of course, even if they actually have, something, you have defensive elements like Raid the Elements. That's one of the big cards the Boros deck has been using to push through against that deck already.
Yeah, like if they play Master of Waves to make a lot of chump blockers, you might think that would be problematic, but
instead you just run right through.
Yep.
So you do run somewhat like the Boros deck, a bit of a curve. You've got the Soldier of the Pantheon. Everyone knows this card's very good.
Yeah.
You've borrowed a page
out
of
a
Mono Blue
with
Devotion.
Common Bond.
A little Nombo with Common Bond,
and Armadillo Cloak in the sideboard.
So as targets for the effects of Common Bond, you've got Favored Hoplite. Judge's Familiar is pretty evasive. Fencing Ace, obviously pretty difficult to block once he gets a counter or two on him. Phalanx Leader gets a little bigger than expected. And last but not least, limited All-Star Fabled Hero, who has never played a fair game of Magic in his life. So I guess, did any creatures not wind up making the cut here, or how did you decide on these 6 specifically?
So we considered a bunch of different creatures. Other ones that we considered are Dryad Militant, which is kind of similar to Soldier of the Pantheon. It has the benefit of being able to be targeted by Common Bond and the like, and can also be cast off green. But the deck's so heavy white anyway that the green cost isn't a big issue, and Soldier's benefits are so great that it makes up for it.
This is a field filled with Frostburn Weirds and the like, and being able to run through, and Blood Barons even, just getting through those unblocked is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, so we also considered Fiendslayer Paladin, which is a kind of hard to kill creature that has lifelink, so it has some synergy with the pump.
Yeah, from the old days of Bant Hexproof, it makes sense.
Sure, but I think Fabled Hero is stronger. Voice of Resurgence was considered because we don't want people messing with us on our turn. And so yeah, that was considered, but I like the more all-in creatures than the Voice in the sideboard.
Sure. I mean, I'm certain it makes for more entertaining games. Especially when you're just crashing through for damage. I saw a Fencing Ace crashing over for 14 while Blood Baron looked on haplessly as God's Willing forced it through just a round ago. Moving on down, we've talked about a lot of your defensive elements, but 2 of them stick out a lot. God's Willing, we can kind of get that. It's pseudo-brave the elements, but you have the advantage of triggering Heroic and Scrying. But you've also got Dauntless Onslaught. Another draft all-star to give you a huge boost of damage with the double strikers. But I'm way more interested in Warrior's Lesson.
I think that's probably the best card in the deck, and maybe the card that we were trying to exploit most. So for 1 mana, you can enable Heroic on anything, and it's just often Thoughtcast, 1 mana draw 2, and occasionally even Ancestral Recall. Occasionally
you get to target one of these double striking creatures and just really go to town.
And I still have yet to do it, but you could get a 1 mana draw 4.
You have the dream.
If you hit 2 double strikers, but that is yet to happen so far. But sometimes you don't draw 2, sometimes even, last game I went turn 1 Favored Hoplite, turn 2 double Warrior's Lesson. And then I had a 3/4 on turn 2 attacking and was cycling a couple cards.
Cycling Battle Growth is nothing to be ashamed of. Really. All right, well, this deck is a unique take on the mono-white aggressive element. It's already been doing kind of well in Standard. I'm very interested to see where it goes.
Thank you
Thank you for joining me, and good luck in the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.